The Peloponnesian War was a war between Sparta and Athens, and a war that would change Greece forever. The victory against Persia emboldened the Greeks' belief in their way of life, and rightfully so. Persia was the only empire at this time to conquer 3 of the major river systems in the ancient world. The only problem now facing the Greeks was where to go from here. You had the militaristic might of Sparta, a society of elite warriors, and then you had Athens, a wealthy, significant trading power in the Mediterranean. The former were masters of land warfare, the latter masters of sea. Whatever the answer, one thing was certain: the Persians were likely to strike again. When that happened, the two had to be ready. Athens created a defensive coalition to defend against Persia should the time arise, called the Delian League. Each coalition member had to contribute toward building and supporting the Athenian navy, a navy that proved effective against the Persians just a year earlier. As a result, the Athenians quickly controlled the coalition. Each of the coalition members went bankrupt supporting the Athenians. Even when the last remnants of the Persian troops were driven from Greece a whole 10 years later, Athens refused any members' request to resign. So right away, Athens began extracting money to gain political power. They forced cities to adopt new laws, regulations, and taxes that funneled wealth and power to Athens. By the time 448 BCE rolled around, the Persians made peace with Athens, making the league obsolete. It served no other purpose than to be Athens' cash cow. So what was Sparta up to? Well, they had started their own coalition prior to the Persian War called the Peloponnesian Coalition, a mutual protection league between Corinth, Sparta, and Thebes. Like Athens, they dominated their allies, but they didn't take advantage of them the way Athens did. Open war wouldn't break out between the two cities until 431 BCE, and wouldn't end until 404 BCE. That's when Sparta would strike the decisive blow against Athens by destroying their primary source of revenue, the silver mines. Did Athens cower after such a crushing defeat? No. Instead, they sued for peace. That Greek superiority, felt at the beginning of the Persian War, came crashing down by the end of the Peloponnesian Wars. Greece was no longer isolated and became more inclusive toward non-Greeks. Sparta learned that you can't win everything by brute force alone, and later developed diplomatic skills to gain victory. The richer they became, the more they detached themselves from their former identity, and that whole invincible Sparta myth likewise met its end at the hands of Thebes, not once, not twice, but 3 times in open battle. Oligarchic councils and tyrants replaced the old order of hoplites and republics. Stronger tax-supported states were welcome, and for the first time across Greece, the polis all adopted state-financed standing armies rather than volunteered citizen soldiers for whom it was their duty to serve their city, a Greek virtue. Luckily for Greece, though, this only ushered in a new age for them, known as the Classical Age.